everyone, welcome to the Juliet We Talk Show, and I'm Juliet. I would start with thanking each and every one of you who have subscribed, and if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. And if you are new here, you are most welcome, and please remember to subscribe and share with others so that they know that we exist. Thank you again. On today's show, I have two guests from Family United. We'll be talking about children and the family, their family rights. We welcome Sophia and Suleiman from Family United, Sweden. Welcome, and please introduce yourself.
My name is Sophia, and I am a mother, and I have lost my two children to the social services. And I have been fighting on my own for 2 years until I realized there were gathering people in protests. But in that time, about a year ago, they were talking about it being a disinformation campaign, and I, as affected, wanted to stop this disinformation from the media and the government, that it is every child. They are taking children from every nation, or Swedish children, they're taking children from, it doesn't really matter from where you are, they're taking all the children. So I was involved with these demonstrations, and in May or in March we met, me and Suleiman, who also lost your children.
Yes, my name is Suleiman, and first of all, excuse me for my bad English. I'll try to talk.
It's okay. Or you want to speak in Swedish? If you speak in Swedish, you can try to translate too.
Yeah,
I can try to translate.
English is good.
I will try in English.
All right, that will be okay.
My name is Suleiman, and I'm coming originally from Palestine. Since 17 years, I'm here in Sweden, and I'm a father of two boys and a girl. My girl is in Palestine, and my two boys from another mom were taken from me since a year ago by the social services without any legal law. And I'm trying since 1 year to work hardly and active to bring them back with the support of the law, and but it doesn't work. I used everything what I have, and it gives no results. I tried everything.
Okay.
Yes. So we started Family United in May.
May last year?
Yeah.
Okay, 2022. Okay.
Yes. And the reason was that during our protests, and we were standing outside the government building, we were handing the politicians claims, please help us instead, start reviewing our cases, bring in other organizations and professionals to look at this, they're not following the law, and so on and so on. And when we were protesting and when we were standing in front of the government, people came up to us and they asked, how can we find you? How can we support you? And in that time it was only different Facebook groups, but the Facebook groups, they were not easily accessible. The information was not easily accessible. So we found a name that we thought was international, that gives a sense of hope. Unite the families. You know, it actually could include all families, could include everything in reality. And we did a homepage, a real homepage, so it's familyunited.se.
Yes.
And it's also in every language or most languages, so you can change the language and you can link to different articles, to different authorities, what our own authorities in Sweden are saying about this issue. Because it's a lot of people that don't know how severe issue this is, how long it's been going on, and how many people are affected. And according to the authorities, social, it's called the social... vänta.
Myndigheten, eller?
Nej.
Socialtjänsten.
Nej, inte socialtjänsten. Varför kommer jag inte ihåg det?
Socialmyndigheten?
Socialstyrelsen.
Styrelsen, okay.
Socialstyrelsen is the authority that is actually creating laws.
Okay.
They are the ones in charge of reforming and creating laws and creating documents that should be followed by the social services, for instance. And according to Socialstyrelsen, in 2021 it was 32,500 children.
Wow,
Yes.
that's a huge number.
Yeah, and in 2022 it was 35,300 children.
Oh dear.
Yes, and it's a lot of children. And everybody has heard about Lilla Hjärtat, which started somewhere in 2020. And that was an awful situation for a little girl that came back to her biological parents and died.
Yeah.
And that somehow created some hysteria in the Swedish society that all parents will kill their children if they come home.
Yeah.
And they changed the law in June 2022 because of this. And what they have done is that now they've changed the law, so it becomes so much more difficult for us to get our children back. But what they don't talk about is that most of the parents and most of the families, they don't use drugs.
Okay.
They don't beat their children. They don't have severe mental issues. They don't neglect their children. They are just abused actually by the system that is supposed to help, and they don't help.
But if I ask, really I'm surprised that the number is very huge. I didn't know that the number of the children is that big, and that all this is going on. I didn't have an idea. But before they take the children from the parents, don't they do some kind of investigation to investigate how the parents are and this and that before they take the children?
As they are supposed to do it according to the law, yes. And they're supposed to do a severe investigation.
Yes.
That should include the family, it should include the network, it should include school. They should have, they should do everything before they take the children. They should do everything to help the parents to become better, to help the children at home, that they could be and stay together. That's how it's supposed to be, according to the law.
Yes.
But we did a form that you can find on our homepage.
Yes.
It's in Swedish, but it's 42 questions, and I think now it's about 140 answers from families all over Sweden. And the questions are based on the law and what they have to do towards us. And everybody doesn't know about the form, unfortunately, otherwise I think we would have much more answers. But of all these families, and it's per family, you know, it becomes quite a lot. Even it's 140, you have 2, 3, 4 children, you have the grandma, grandpa, sisters, brothers, so it becomes much more people. But they all say the same thing: nobody gets help before, nobody got any help before, nobody got any help after they took the children. The children don't get any help. Everybody says that it's all a lie, that they're lying in these investigations. They are accusing us of something we never did. There are no proofs that we did any of these things. And it's like they're writing a story, and the court agrees with the story. So it's not true, and we have been asking for a year now, please investigate us.
Yeah.
Like following the constitution, the Swedish constitution.
Yes.
Make sure it's not biased, make sure it is to the point, it's facts you're talking about, and that you help us. That's what we've been asking for, and they refuse.
But that's very sad. That's very, very sad. Is there anybody, or the ministers, or anybody in the government who can help
We have been in touch with many politicians. We have talked to many parties. We have done many demonstrations, more than 7 demonstrations. We have made a strike, and we're actively trying to communicate with the other organizations and Edelföreningar. We get no answer. I mean, they accuse this social service. They accuse you for something, and you, as a person, you should admit. And if you're not admitting, they will take your children as a punishment.
You cannot do anything. You cannot.
And these accusations are coming originally from, like, a school or a hospital or other authorities. And even if you are in a twist conflict, they take some accusations from the other part. So they try to make you admit. And if you are not admitting, so they will punish you. They take the children, and the children will never come back. And that's the horrible thing.
That's terrible. What do the children say? Do you meet them sometime that you can meet your children? Maybe when with the authorities there at the place, or you don't meet your children at all?
At all, we never met them at all.
No, it's not
anything about them.
But it all depends. Sometimes some families they get to see their children, 2 hours every 6 weeks, or 2 hours every 2 weeks, and it's almost always it's called umgängesbegränsning. Is when they don't let you have any normal contact with your child, that you can only see them and you are under surveillance during this day, and these stays is in a room like this, not really child friendly. You know, this is if you have a little child, they get really bored in 2 hours in a room, and you have 2 people staring at you, writing and complaining, basically. And if your child after this 2 hours is sad because they don't want to leave, then they complain that you're a bad parent. You're a bad parent that can't make your child leave happily, because your child should not be unhappy when they have to go back to a foster home they don't want to be with, that doesn't love them, that doesn't care about them, and actually they don't even take care of the children. Most of them don't take care of the children correctly. They use the child as a means of getting money. And it's a lot of money also involved that people might not realize, but I would say this costs the taxpayers around 100 billion crowns a year. So it's huge amounts of money, and foster parents, they get something like 36,000 crowns after tax per month per child. So they don't have to work. They keep the children as a means
of income. Okay.
And
it's like a job.
For them it becomes a job, but you know, if everybody should get 36,000 after tax to have their children, nobody would have to work, right? And it's a bit of a strange situation for a child that you have you live with the grown-ups. They are just at home. And the children, they are in school 10 hours, 12 hours. It's or they don't go to school at all. I mean, it all depends on the foster parent in actual fact. But basically they don't take care of the children, and all the science, the own science from Socialstyrelsen, for instance, says that the children always get a worst outcome in their lives from being placed. And they're moving these children. Some children, they move 30 times, 40 times.
This is not good.
It's not good.
It's not good for the children
at
all.
Good.
No, not the children. But do the children have any say that that I don't like this, that I want to go back to my parents? If they cry and say that I don't want to stay here, I just want to go back to my parents, I just want to go back to my parents, do they have a chance to take them back?
No, because they don't ever listen to the children. I would say never. They say, my children, I can use my children as an example. My children has said this, and then they say, we don't think that is best for you right now. And that's it. That's the end of that story.
I mean, when they take the children, they make a brainwash for the children in the foster families.
Right. Okay.
And even if they were taken by the other part, I mean, your ex-wife, or so they make the children something we call it for parents alienation. So they try to make the children depends on other and seeing the other part as a devil.
Okay. Oh, that's very sad. That's the parents becomes the devil. You mean?
Yeah.
That the children see you as a bad person. You mean?
A bad person. Yeah. When they take by the foster families, they're talking bad about the region, the parents.
Yeah.
So the children. It's really easy.
Turn against you.
Yeah, turn against.
That's not so good. That's not good.
Even
that's not
if
good
the
at
children
all.
want to come back, they are not telling the parents about it.
No.
And they are not helping the children to reunion with their families.
Oh, that's very sad. Okay, if something happens and they take the children, they should try to communicate with the parents so that they can maybe give the parents some kind of lessons, that you sit in a class and you learn how to do this, you learn how to do that. But didn't you get anything? Just a moment. I think we have to take a break, and then we will answer this after the break. Thank you for now. We'll be coming back soon.